Phlash Phelps, playing all 60s hits. Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
And I remember growing up as a kid when somebody was 25. Oh my gosh, you're old. You're 25. And now here it is, 25 years just right here, coming into work here at Sally Radio. I had already left terrestrial radio on the 18th, and I had that weekend, and it was Monday, August the 21st, 2000. The day I had, everybody said, take a chance, go ahead, and let's see what's going to go on with this thing called Sally Radio. Will it get on the air? Will it not? We didn't have any satellites. We didn't have a radio that even worked. It was just this idea that they were putting together and still developing at that time, and they were allowed to hire people. So there were 12 people in programming on August the 20th, and that day of August 20th, 4 of us started. So there was now a total of 16 people that came to work here, and we were just in programming. My employee number, I think it's 347. So there were 346 people right before I was here, and they were here in the earlier years trying to get this thing even off the ground, which it wasn't. So it's amazing to think 25 years ago today, I remember I woke up at my sister's house. They stayed there on that overnight, and then I drove down and they got me a place working here for 2 months in Northern Virginia. And then I drove into work and I got there and they said, we weren't expecting you till August 28th. I said, no, I told August 21st. I gave a 4-week notice. I'm not giving a 5-week notice. How many people give a 4-week notice? So here we go. We're starting the 26th year, but this is the 25th anniversary here at 60s Gold. Don Danneman and Circle have produced 5 new songs. Let's start it with song number 1. Don Danneman and Circle changed the lyrics to the theme. Listen here.
Every day is special on the funny farm, but something more is happening this year. Phlash is 25 years on the satellite, so give him a great big cheer. He took a job on XM radio and started his Phlash Phelps Funny Farm show. We've had 25 years with his 60s charm on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm.
Hi, this is Pat McLaughlin.
This is Mike Loskamp.
I'm Dean Castron.
This is Don White.
I'm Scott Langley.
And this is Don Danneman. We are The Circle, and this time we're changing Phlash's theme into an anniversary song. So Phlash, on behalf of the band and all your listeners, we want to congratulate you for 25 amazing years on Sirius XM. But don't stop now. How about giving us another 25 years?
On August 21st in the year 2000, Phlash took a great big chance. He got a new job on the satellite and started his 60s dance. The big bosses loved him, he made the cut. They listened and they told him, you're our kind of nut. Now we've had 25 years of his 60s charm on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm. It's the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm. 25 years on the Funny Farm. That's so funny that Don was able to get in the line, you're our kind of nut, because that's how it all started. My friend Art Volo, I'll tell you the whole story on the way, but I think Art's going to be on. He was the one who told me about this new thing called Sally Radio, and then he asked my permission, could I send a video in for you to this new thing called Sally Radio? And then that's when it all happened. The first flash mail I got back, and I was working in Washington State, and it just said, bottom line, you're our kind of nut. But they weren't hiring yet. They said it was going to be the fall of 2000. So this was in the spring of 2000 when I got that first one. You're our kind of nut. That was really cool that he worked that into the lyrics. And by the way, the video for the 25 years is up online. You can now go and watch it over on Facebook. And I'll get it on YouTube as well here soon with 60s Gold.
Sirius XM, 60s Gold, non-stop music.
Sirius XM, 60s Gold. And we do have 4 different songs that you still have not heard right here that Don Danneman and Circle have done for the 25th anniversary. So they'll be played. I can do one an hour, and then we'll take the theme that you just heard. Hopefully you were just listening earlier, and we played the theme, and we'll do that again at the very end of the show. So I should be able to do one new one an hour. That's something I never was able to do in the 60s. Hey, a new song. I never really had new songs. Even when I started here, everything was about 40 years old. Now you look back and go, how did 60 years since the 60s was going on? All right, we're also watching what's going on with Hurricane Aaron. As we know, it's right now it's very close to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's not like we know it's not going to hit, but it's really causing so many problems there with guys, did you see 12, North Carolina 12? That's the road that goes right down the Outer Banks. They had to close that because, all the water that's coming in there. So that's where it is. It hangs off the coast all day today and tomorrow. And then it should turn into a pretty good East Coast weekend is what they're showing right now. So again, Hurricane Aaron, we've had Aaron as City of the Day twice. Are we going to do another Aaron City of the Day? We'll find out on the way with 60s Gold.
From the sounds of the beach to the sounds of the city.
The days can't be like the nights in the summer in the city.
A trip through the 60s. Sirius XM. 60s Gold.
Return to sender. I still have 2 of the Elvis stamps back from the 90s that were released there on his birthday date. But we just had that whole Elvis week that went on over on the Elvis radio. Man, that was an incredible time, especially that they had Tony Orlando and Brenda Lee both be able to come in for that. Okay, you're at 60s Gold. Back on the June trip when I was gone, I went out and I was in San Angelo, Texas. That was one of the furthest western parts I got. That was on the June trip. So when I did that, went out to see our friends Matt and Leslie. They wrote a really nice happy anniversary in here as well. And just up the road from them in San Angelo, if I would have known about it, there's this really small town called Silver. It's true. It's called Silver, Texas, just to the north of them. Maybe I should have gone up there just to see whether or not there was any sort of signage. It almost looks like a ghost town. I was looking it up because that could have been a possible city of the day. And they even have a road that's called Post Office Road, but I don't see anything there. I think everything's gone. That must be a ghost town. I don't think that's going to be city of the day, but that's a good pick. Okay, here we go. And now just down the road, I was talking about San Angelo, Texas. Did you know that's where this next song was recorded? They recorded this song in San Angelo, Texas, and they have a mural to it on the side of the building where they recorded it. Let's listen. Last train to Clarksville. That led to City of the Day back on Monday. I tell you, if you could get to Clarksville, you had to go southwest and you would be in Aaron, Tennessee. That was the City of the Day because we did it because of Hurricane Aaron, as you know. But I'll tell you what, really great reviews from everybody who sees Mickey Dolenz in concert, voice right there. They said, gee, he's still fantastic today. He was just in Lima, Ohio. So way to go there, Mickey, holding on to his voice. I love it. It's 60s Gold. Rolling Stones. Boy, they go back a number of years. Well, more than 25. I can't believe I've been here 25 years. I can't believe 25 years ago was 2000. So if you look at 25 and a half years ago, or a little more than that, I remember I was on the air in Washington State, and I was on a station called KRXY, and I served the area of Tacoma, Olympia, and then Shelton in this area in the south side of the Puget Sound, south of Seattle. So while I was on that radio station, I got a message that said, hey, there's a new thing called Sally Radio that's on the way. Are you interested? And it was from my friend Art. I said, what's going on with that? I don't even know what this is. He said, read all about it and tell me if you're interested. So I went online and I read about it and I said, I didn't even know this was possible. And he said, so do you want me to send a video? I said, go ahead. I'll do anything. Go ahead. So he sent the video and then I got that message back from XM at that time that said, you're our kind of nut, but we're not hiring till the fall of 2000. It's where it all started. And the video is now up online. You can watch how it starts in 2000 and progresses to 2025. It takes 4.5 minutes to watch the video, so hopefully you'll have time to be able to watch it. Here is 60s Gold. Gary Putnam Union Gap. They were in Effingham, Illinois for the Happy Together tour. They're over in the St. Louis area now. That's the latest place they're going to go for tonight. You're at 60s Gold. Let's get a Kelly Wayne news update here on the 25th anniversary show. We've been doing this a long time. Hey, Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Phlash.
Well, good morning. All right. We feeling all right? Here we go.
Okay, burnout isn't just exhausting. It might be changing your brain. If you've been burning the candle at both ends, here's a new reason to ease up. Long work hours can actually change your brain's structure. A study in occupational and environmental medicine scanned the brains of healthcare workers putting in over 52 hours a week. And what they found is now considered a public health concern. MRI scans showed physical changes in brain regions responsible for emotional regulation, memory and focus, and self-awareness and social connection. But there's good news. Some of those brain changes can be reversed. Experts say that recovery may begin within weeks, but full restoration could take months, depending on how overworked you've been. And here's the kicker. The World Health Organization now says long work hours contribute more to disease than any other workplace factor. So the takeaway? Overwork is not a badge of honor. It's a health risk. If you need a sign to take the day off, this is it.
Today?
So, Phlash, have you ever experienced burnout or brain fog from working too much?
Oh, gosh, yeah. That's why I get out and I drive around. That actually helps. So I do that a lot. But then again, when I get back from a vacation, I need a vacation like I did because I got so tired of driving 5,500 miles. So actually, sometimes my burnout is the vacation. That becomes my burnout. All right. How about you? Here at 60s Gold, Sirius XM 60s Gold. I wonder how many times I've played spinning wheel since I've been here 25 years. See, we didn't go on the air till 13 months after I had started because it was August 21st, 2000, and we didn't get on the air till officially it was in September of 2001, as we know what was going on in the world at that time, and we had to delay our start by 2 weeks after that. So, boy, but I bet spinning wheel, I bet I've played it at least 500 times. I may have played that 1,000 times on the air. Oh, it's got to be at least probably 1,000 plays here at 60s Gold. I can't believe it. Okay, Little League World Series is on. South Carolina got a walk-off win in extra innings. Did you see that? All right, very exciting things going on up there in Williamsport, PA. Okay, you know the story about what the Beach Boys are going to do for us, right? Beach Boys channel, Good Vibrations. It's coming to channel 79. We're going to put it on channel 73 right here, but for 4 hours tomorrow, not the entire day. We originally thought, well, maybe we'll just do the entire day. It's only going to be 4 hours. So I'm going to go off the air at 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific. And then we're going to do 4 hours of the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations channel. And then Pat St. John will come back at 3 Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, right here on 60s Gold.
In radio, sound is a rather important ingredient.
You want variety? You got it. Digging deep on Sirius XM.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
Neil Diamond on the Phlash on 20 Farm at 60s Gold. We talked to him the other day, and that's Rich Thomas. Hey, Rich. Oh, you're beeping in your car.
Yeah, my car is... I just got in the car. I'm headed south to the coast, and it is beeping right now, but it'll stop here in a few seconds.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well,
at the tone. The time is it.
All right. Well, I can talk to you about a couple things right here, but
sure.
Hurricane Aaron, any updates?
205 miles now from Cape Hatteras and just battering the coastline. 105-mile-an-hour winds makes it a Category 2. It is a much larger hurricane than it was a few days ago, and it's going to terrorize the Middle Atlantic coastal region and the Northeast today with, unbelievable wave action. The winds have been gusting to near tropical storm force on the North Carolina coast. And, as far as rip currents, don't even think about getting in the water.
Okay. You got it. There you go. That's an update there. And you've been with us very early. I remember you said it was right before Katrina when you actually started. You came in to the studio, right? Right before Katrina.
Came into the studio first, and about a week or so later was Katrina. So we're 20 years out, you and I, and we covered a lot of storms. Boy, oh boy, dozens and dozens of storms, not just hurricanes, but a lot of weather over the years. And I appreciate you allowing me to do that.
Yeah, and you've always given us
Rich Thomas weather.
Taking it down to Panama City Beach right now, buddy.
You got it. There's Rich Thomas on the road. Thank you for checking in here on the anniversary show with 60s Gold. Sirius XM 60s Gold. Well, today's date, 821. Who has the 821 area code? It's an overlay. 821's an overlay with 864. And that would be the upstate of South Carolina, if you're very familiar with the area as well. It's the northwest corner, right under North Carolina. You're the 821. Possibly a city of the day could be in the 821. We'll find out. Anytime you're down on the Gulf Coast around Pensacola and you see the Blue Angels, very cool. So the great song at 60s Gold. By the way, did you see the Firebirds? I was in Chicago the other day and they were having the air show and they had a flyover even at Wrigley Field unannounced during the seventh inning stretch. Here they are singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" and just huge. They flew over and they did this low pass right there. It was really amazing because the ceiling was pretty low, but they were still able to fly. They shattered glass. Did you see that went on in Chicago the other day? Little Honda Sirius XM 60s Gold. Actually, I didn't have a Honda, but when I came to work here, I had another car that I had gotten in Fort Wayne in 1995, and then it lasted to right before we had gone on the air. So when I got here, I was still in that vehicle, and it had not even hit 200,000 because I never could get a vehicle to go to 200,000 miles for me. And then finally, when I got here, I remember it was in early 2001 when it was Kurt from the 70s on 7. He went by the name HR on 70s on 7. And he said, well, you need a Honda. You need to be able to get out there and all the driving you do, get it. So I took his advice. And I've stuck with Honda ever since. It is true. And so and you hear about, everybody says, what kind of Flash mobile is it you're driving? That's what it is. And that's, this one's right now 410,000 miles. The one before this, 500,000 miles. The one before that, 353,000. So I get my mileage out of my vehicles. I've driven over 2 million miles in my cars with 60s Gold.
All 60s hits.
So just let me be myself.
Sirius XM. 60s Gold.
Sirius XM 60s Gold with Phlash Phelps.
That song, My Girl, could be a part of Carolina shagging shag to that song. So we have a channel called Carolina Shag. Find it on the Sirius XM app. And speaking of the Carolinas, we know you're watching what's going on with Hurricane Aaron, staying off of the Outer Banks, but still close enough to be able to create all these incredible waves, up to 20 feet on some of these waves that are coming in. And you know what? If you've watched the video, I did a video and took a whole bunch of video for the last 25 years and pictures, so it's up online. You can watch. It's on the Facebook page as Phlash Phelps Funny Farm. It's on 60s Gold page as well. And you're going to see a part of there where Don Daneman sings about a rocket ship, and you get to see the satellite launch. That is SXM-9. That was the launch in the back end, December is when that is. And if you remember back in June, went back to Cape Canaveral for the launch of SXM-10. Well, SXM-10, yesterday they announced that we now have that one in service. It takes about 2 months. So I knew that it had already been about 2.5 months. It's like, oh gosh, I hope everything's all right. And it is great news. So both satellites that I got to go watch launch, SXM-9 and 10 just went into service as of the other day. So really great news here at Sirius XM 60s Gold.
If you're cruising to 60s hits in the car, remember, you can listen to 60s Gold at home, too.
I'm going home.
On your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Sirius XM 60s Gold. Lou Simon, that's one of his favorite artists he always talks about. Skeeter Davis. And you're on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm. I'm going to play Peter Herman Noon next, and just such an honor to be able to work with Peter here on the air of the 60s channel. I was trying to go through everybody I've worked with here on the 60s channel since you know how I got into doing the mornings? Because originally when I was hired here, they told me I was going to do the afternoons. I was supposed to be like in the position where Pat St. John is on the air. But when I came to work here, we ended up having Cleveland Wheeler here, and Cleveland Wheeler had done mornings with the Q Zoo. And so he said, you know what? I don't want to go ahead and do mornings anymore. He said, I want to be in the middle of the day. So he wanted that one. And then we ended up hiring Terry Motormouth Young. And when Terry goes, I want to be on the evening or the afternoon or the night. And so he wanted to be, so by default, I ended up going to the mornings. I had done mornings before, but I had not done mornings over the last 2 years of my career back in the late 90s. So I got pushed into mornings because the other two guys, Cleveland and Terry, did not want to be on in the morning. And then that's how it all started. That's why I'm on in the morning. And then it never stopped 25 years later. So a little background on that. And again, I was trying to count up all the people I've worked with just right here on 60s Gold. We've had to have at least 20 people on this channel throughout the 25 years here at 60s Gold. And way to go, Peter Noon. He's here Saturday.
2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home.
Phlash Phelps in the morning, getting you where you need to go with a soundtrack of 60s classics and a side of geography trivia.
Country, baby, don't you wanna go?
It's been a long
Sirius XM. 60s Gold.
Percy Sledge, it was great meeting him. All the artists that had come by here, and a lot of these aren't even with us anymore. Percy Sledge is one of them. But I wanted to joke with Percy. I said, and I remember I ran down and I said, I'm going to act like he's Percy Faith and have a whole conversation with him like he's Percy Faith. Let's see what he does. So I went up to Percy Sledge and I said, man, I love when you did a summer place. I just remember that look on his face. He's like, I did a summer place? When did I do a summer place? I don't remember doing a summer place. And I said, yeah, man, it was a big number one for you. I said, a summer place. It was the instrumental. And he goes, I didn't do that. I said, you're Percy Faith, right? And he said, no, I'm Percy Sledge. So he got a kick out of the fact that I was playing that joke on him. And let me see who else is writing in here at 60s Gold on the 25th anniversary. It's Steve Nelson. He wrote a really nice thing. He said, I have to admit it. He said, originally when I heard about satellite radio, I thought it was ridiculous. Why is anyone going to pay to listen to the radio? He said, but then I went out. He said, I did get a portable receiver. It was about 18 months after you guys had signed on the air. And then next thing you know, he said, I started realizing this is much easier than messing with my CDs or changing all these terrestrial radio stations. I keep on driving around the country and going state to state. So it just became easier. And then I started to really listen. He said, you were entertaining during my long morning drives. A few months later, I bought a second portable radio to be able to use in my car. My newer vehicles, they now all come with Sirius XM in the vehicles. No need to go out and buy that portable unit like the olden days. He said, I even downloaded the app. I have that on my TV. I got the app on my phone. I listen in my Blazer. Boy, you listen everywhere. And he said, I even listen on my tractor with AirPods today. Boy, the things have changed over the years of satellite radio since we got it started. He said, I am addicted to Sirius XM these days. Thank you so much, Steve Nelson, writing in, and so many of you with your stories with 60s Gold.
Mini skirts, tie-dye shirts, go-go boots,
Done walking.
and 60s Gold.
Rascals at Sirius XM, 60s Gold on the Phlash Funny Farm. It was really cool in the very beginning, even before we got on the air. There were a couple of the 60s artists that were stopping. There were a lot of artists that kept on stopping by, and they knew about this new thing called satellite radio. Well, Bobby Goldsboro, he was the first of our 60s artists to stop by. Duke Fakir of the Four Tops, he was the second. Now, there was the third artist I remember from the 60s that came in. I had no idea this person was even in the building. I wasn't told because they would just show up. And Dave Logan, he yells out to me and he goes, hey, Phlash, come over here. I have somebody I want you to meet. I said, okay. So I'd go over and there was a lady there. And he said, Phlash is going to do the 60s. That's all he said. Now, he doesn't tell me who this is that I'm talking to. He just, Phlash is going to be doing the 60s. And she looks at me and she says, oh, my gosh, I got CDs I want to send you. Like, CDs of what? Who is this I'm talking to? So I'm talking to her, and she's talking all about CDs and music and 60s, and I don't know who I'm talking to, but I looked at her name tag while she was talking, and it said N. Sinatra. Oh, Dave, you didn't tell me this is Nancy Sinatra. It was so quick. I had no idea what he had done. And Nancy had changed, obviously, since the 60s in 1966. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm talking to Nancy Sinatra. I had no idea. So I'm going to play it right now. It's 60s Gold. And then that's when, if you don't know the story, the Sinatra channel came to the XM side first, and then it moved to the Sirius side. And then after the merger, and you know it now, it's Seriously Sinatra. And now a couple extra channels as well on the app for him. So Nancy Sinatra here at 60s Gold.
No matter where you are across the USA, Phlash Phelps has been there. Phlash in the morning on Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
Sirius XM, 60s Gold on the Phlash Phelps 24. There's Love and Spoonful. As I'm reminiscing about these last 25 years of working here, and speaking of Love and Spoonful, I didn't know this guy was going to show up as well. From Love and Spoonful, Steve Boone, bass player of Love and Spoonful. And I was in Fort Lauderdale. I was doing a thing called Breakfast. What was it called? Breakfast Across America is what we called it. And we did in September of 2004. Started in L.A. and started having breakfast with everybody across America. Got to Fort Lauderdale. And Steve Boone came over. So that was very cool. That's where I met Steve. Okay, here's another one of the artists that came in during all these years. And one of them were the Fireballs. And I remember asking him, I said, look, when we go on the air, I want you to be able to spell fireballs with a PH Remember, your name is Phireballs. And they said, okay, we got it. So Jimmy Gilmer and the Fireballs. So listen to this audio that they recorded for me trying to spell fireballs with a PH.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Gilmer.
And we're the Fireballs.
We're in the fan... I don't know what to say.
The fan clan. You're in the fan clan.
I'm too stupid.
No. Come on, Jimmy. Do it. You can get it.
In the fan clan, right?
Yeah, do it.
We're number 1963 in the fan clan. And we spell fireballs Phireballs.
No, Phireballs.
Phireballs.
No, Phireballs. Big 11 spoonful on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm at 60s Gold. Very nice post. There's so many of you posting so many nice things. I just saw this one. Nick Mara had written in, along with Karen, and just said, hey, you're a rare talent. Your listeners don't even want to miss a show. Selfishly, I would ask that you do 7 days a week. You have brought back something called appointment radio, and we want to thank you. That is so nice. It's like you make an appointment. Oh, I got to be here. Yeah, don't want to miss something. That is great. Thank you so much, Nick. And for many of you that have posted, I'm trying to read all of them. They're in there. I'll tell you a funny story that happened. This is 25 years ago today. So once I start here on August 21st of 2000, there's 15 others that work here at that time. And I didn't know majority of them. I had heard of them. So I was being introduced, and all of a sudden I get introduced to this guy named Dan Turner. Dan Turner was in charge of making sure all the audio was able to work and making sure the operations of everything programming that when eventually we were going to get all the audio was going to work. And Dan looks up at me, and as soon as I'm introduced to him, and he says, I hated you. And I was like, I didn't even know who he was. And he just said, I hated you. I was like, this is my first day. I hated you. I was like, what? What happened? What did I do to you? And I don't even know who you are. He said, here's the story. He said, back in 1990, this would have been 10 years ago, he said, you were working on KMZ in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I said, yeah. He goes, well, I was on WINC in Winchester, Virginia. And nobody could get through to you. Everybody was calling in and talking to you. Well, people then start calling me. And then they would say, well, Phlash would do it. Phlash would do it. He said, I heard your name so much. I started listening to you while I was on the air. And he said, as soon as you left and went to Fort Wayne, Indiana, I ended up applying for your job. And guess what? I got your job. And guess what? The kids started calling, going, Phlash would have done that. Phlash would have done it. He said, I could not get away from hearing your name. He said, I am so glad we're working together today. It was a compliment the way he said it. He goes, I just hated you because people kept on talking about you. He goes, I couldn't get away from hearing about you, even though you had left town by that time. So a very nice story from Dan. Again, one of the original 16 that started here. Now, as we go back 25 years at 60s Gold. I want to thank Don Daneman in Circle. He took me out to lunch yesterday. Don, that was so much fun. And he did 5 different songs. We've already heard one. You ready to hear song 2? Let's play it at 60s Gold.
The year was 2000, the date August 21. Phlash started on satellite. Started his 60s fun. 25. He started traditions. Janine tell you city of the day. 25. And he kept it going for 25 years, doing it his own way. With 60s charm on the funny farm. Phlash Phelps doing that funny farm. And now to celebrate, we're gonna sing congratulations. 25 years on the funny farm. 25. We're celebrating 25 years on the funny farm. Phlash keeps going, going, going. 25 years on the funny farm. Congratulations to Phlash for 25 years on the funny farm.
Isn't he incredible? Don Daneman in Circle producing all the jingles that you've heard. Hopefully, if you were here in the 6 a.m. hour, you heard the first one. If you missed that one, don't worry. I'm going to play that one in the last hour, my 11 a.m. Eastern hour of the show. We'll do that one again because there's 5 different ones to be able to play. So over the 6 hours being here on the air, I'll play that first one that I played at 6 again at the very end. So thank you, Don, for doing all that. Sirius XM 60s Gold. Here's Sukiyaki. That's the number one. 63. Sirius XM 60s Gold with the Phlash Phelps 24. We had a little over 200 number ones during the 60s. Now, during this time over the last 25 years of being here on the 60s, one of the most thrilling times I got this flash mail, and it said, Dick Clark wants to go on the air with you. Dick Clark? You're kidding. Dick Clark wants to be on the air? So I had him on the air. It was so much fun having Dick Clark. He had the new TV show out called American Dreams. Great TV show. It was about the 60s. So I did the promotion for him on the air, and I made him play games on the air. And at one point, I had asked him, I said, is there any way you could introduce me like I'm an act on American Bandstand? And Dick Clark says, no, I can't do it. He said, I'm not allowed to do that. And I said, oh, okay. And all of a sudden, Dick Clark goes, what do you want me to say? I said, say something about that I got fired from 17 radio stations before I got here. He goes, okay. He goes, you're rolling the audio? I said, yeah. And here's what happens.
Live from Philadelphia, it's time for America's favorite dance party, American Bandstand. And now, here's the star of our show, Dick Clark.
Here's a man, ladies and gentlemen, who's been on, golly, about 17 different radio stations. I think he got fired from all of them, but here he is. Got a record nowadays. Here is the one and only Phlash Phelps.
He did that for me. I've been everywhere, man. I've worked everywhere, man. Moved from here to there, man. Lived from lair to lair, man. Jobs I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've worked from Cadenceville, Jayville, Knoxville, Montana, Somerville, Thomasville, Kendallville, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Delmar, Tortola, Virgin Gorda, Seastead, Epstead, Centralia, West Virginia, Michigan, Maryland, Charleston, Ocean City, Flower City, Bay City, Fire City, what a pity. I've been everywhere, man. I've worked everywhere, man. Fired from everywhere, man. On air I show my flair, man. Jobs I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been from AM to FM to XM, USA, MD, NC, SC, FLA, WA, PA, MI, VITN, IN, WV, MT, DC, PHL, ASH, spelled best, been the best, east to west, highly stressed, I need a rest. I've been everywhere, man. I've worked everywhere, man. Moved from here to there, man. Lived from lair to lair, man. Jobs I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Utah, Kansas, California, Arkansas, Louisiana, Minnesota, Indiana, Illinois, South Dakotas, New York, and the two Virginias, Massachusetts, Idaho, the Carolinas, and Ohio, Connecticut, Maryland, Nevada, Delaware, Rhode Island, Mississippi, and Wisconsin, Vermont, Michigan, Wyoming. I've been everywhere, man. I've worked everywhere, man. Moved from here to there, man. Lived from lair to lair, man. Jobs I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Kentucky, Texas, Oregon, Missouri, Florida, Washington, New Mexico, and Arizona, Iowa, and Oklahoma, Colorado, and Montana, Nebraska, and there's Alabama, Georgia, Jersey, Tennessee, Alaska, D.C., all Hawaii, Hong Kong, Saipan, Yukon, Japan, Canada, and South Pacific, Europe, to be specific. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Moved from here to there, man. Lived from lair to lair, man. Jobs I've had my share, man.
I know someplace you haven't been.
Where?
Phelps, Texas.
Been there.
Four Corners.
All four at once.
North Pole.
Alaska, been there.
Hell.
Michigan and Grant came in.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, Branch, Missouri. It's in Phelps County. I've been there. Wow, that voice at the end, that's Country Dan Dixon, who was on our channel called America. We lost him at the age of 67 back in 2016. Great guy, Country Dan, originally right here, starting satellite radio with me at 60s Gold.
Give your morning a boost with a road trip vibe. It's Phlash Phelps on Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
All right, Phlash Phelps 25 at 60s Gold. Just found out John Fogerty, it's going to be a big weekend over on Classic Vinyl, Channel 26. He has a new album coming out tomorrow. It's the Legacy album for CCR, so that's going to start tomorrow. We'll tell you more about that. Hey, Linda checked in and just said, hey, Phlash, you were asking about north of San Angelo, Texas. the town called Silver, Texas. I was going to do that as City of the Day, but now that I'm talking about it, we're not going to do that as City of the Day. And she said, yeah, it is a ghost town. It used to be a small community of mainly farm and ranch and oil field owners and workers. She said, I haven't driven into town in over 25 years, but there were only 2 to 3 buildings. When I Google mapped it, and it said like there were 3 buildings that were in town. But it had a street. It was called Post Office. So again, I thought about doing that for the Silver anniversary, but it's not going to be that one. It will not be Silver, Texas. We'll see which one we do on the way. It's coming soon here for City of the Day. It's 60s Gold.
It's Thursday morning, and you can almost see the weekend from here. All 60s hits to start your day. Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
Question mark in the Styrians out of Michigan at 60s Gold. Well, the way I got Sally Radio started, no, I didn't get it started, but it had already been started, but it wasn't on the air. And it was a friend of mine in Michigan, Art Volo, and we're going to talk with Art on the way, and he'll tell a little of the story of what he remembers of what happened a little over 25 years ago when he sent a video. So we'll get him on. And so we'll give you some background on this 25th anniversary at 60s Gold. Okay, we have college football. It starts on Saturday. There's a number of games going on, about 4 or 5, right? And the big one that's going on, they call this Week 0. So it's going to be in Dublin. Dublin, Ireland will have that Iowa State, Kansas State game going on.
Phlash Phelps, mornings, 60s hits, 24/7.
All right, good morning, Phlash Phelps Funny Farm here on the 25th anniversary. We have more of the new songs from Don Daneman to play. He did 5 new ones. We've already heard a couple. So it'll be fun all morning long to be able to hear these at 60s Gold. I remember when I got here 25 years ago, because I didn't know much about the 60s. I was born in the 60s, as you know. And then, but it was, they asked the question, they said, how come your show sounds so 60s was one of the questions. And it was because I was given a tape of all these 60s radio guys when I started interning in the 80s. And I said, man, these guys are great on the radio. I said, I want to do something like that. And so I created a show based on the 60s, playing the hits of the day, which were the 80s and the 90s. And I got fired 17 times. And so it was finally seen that and heard by what I did. And then next thing you know, I was working here. So I'll tell you more of that story later. Let me get Kelly in right now, because here's one of the things I did have to learn. A lot of the things that were big in the 60s. Hey, Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Phlash.
Good morning. All right, let's learn about some of the terms from the 60s.
You know, I'm really glad that I grew up in the era that I grew up in. Mm-hmm. I'm considered a baby boomer.
Yeah.
Everything is groovy with this boomer slang. There was a lot of slang back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
The best boomer slang. A lot of these have not stood the test of time, and other terms remain fresh. Here we go. Groovy, fashionable and exciting, enjoyable and excellent. Freak flag, okay, used in reference to open, proud, or defiant. Foxy, remember that? Attractive or sexy. Bippy, yeah, you're behind.
Bippy.
Copacetic, in excellent order. Boogie, dance to fast pop or rock music. Mm-hmm. And cool beans, used to express approval or delight. And the skinny, confidential information. Doofus, a stupid person. What have I missed? What else is out there?
Doofus, I haven't heard that one in a while. Oh, gosh, there's, I mean, how about Sock It To Me? We were talking about how that was very big, especially Laughing, end up bringing that in as well. So they are just amazing. I remember watching all those videos, but we had to watch videos and we had to watch all these movies from the 60s as well to just come back into that time. And at that point, when we started it, the 60s had already happened 31 years prior to it. So I was like, oh my gosh, we got to really go back and then learn all about this stuff of the 60s. So glad it all worked out. Here 25 years later. By the way, Kelly, you're in the video. We've been watching it online here at 60s Gold. Sirius XM 60s Gold. Phlash Phelps 25. On the way, we'll get more new songs that Don Daneman had recorded for us for the 25th anniversary, which is very cool. You'll hear the next one right after. I'm going to do City of the Day first, but we get to hear him right here singing the City of the Day jingle. Do you have any idea what it's here? What city I'm going to do for the silver anniversary?
Massachusetts, Colorado, Mississippi, Idaho, Texas, Maine, New Mexico, Oklahoma, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, Minnesota. Where is Phlash gonna go? Carolinas to Utah, Delaware to Arkansas. Pay attention and you'll go far. Phlash keeps traveling in his special way. It's the city of the day.
Yesterday, City of the Day was Erin. That's how they say it up there in Ontario. It's spelled out E-R-I-N, the same as the hurricane. So that was our City of the Day. Looked like Erin. And as we watch Hurricane Erin. Now let's see if we can get today's City of the Day. Well, I've been here 25 years as of today. I came in on August the 21st of 2000. And that makes it what anniversary? If you 25 years of a marriage happens to be known as the blank anniversary. That is in the name of the City of the Day. I'll tell you something very cool that's right near our City of the Day. The Gold Hill Hotel. That's really nearby because back in the 1860s, if you go there today, there may be a ghost that is wearing perfume. You'll smell the perfume. It's really wild. Okay, so that's right near the City of the Day. Again, it has that name in it. You know what name we're looking for because 25 years is a blank anniversary. You'll find this also right near Virginia City. Name it now. Phlash.Phelps at SiriusXM.com.
Well-respected man about town.
Phlash Phelps on SiriusXM. 60s hits to start your day. 60s gold.
Before we get to the City of the Day, I want to play a song by one of our birthday boys. And that's our friend Carl Chiamarisi of the Buckingham, celebrating his birthday today with 60s Gold. SiriusXM 60s Gold. You know we have a national day for senior citizens, and that is today. Senior Citizens Day. I noticed that Don Danneman and I, we went to a restaurant yesterday, and it said senior citizens at the age of 60. And I'm almost there. So I'm kind of almost senior citizen, I guess. I'll get that discount on the way. Here's Don singing for us.
City of the Day, where are you?
For City of the Day, you had to know what the 25th anniversary was called. It's silver. So you knew the City of the Day had something to do with silver. And then I told you things like Virginia City. That was almost a giveaway. Right next to Virginia City, you're out in Nevada is where you are. And you got Gold Hill, you got Devil's Gate, and then you have Silver City. They're all right next to each other, not too far from Carson City and Reno. So you knew it was in Nevada. Silver City, Nevada is our City of the Day. Robert Q, you got it right away. So did Gary and Wiley. I'll have to call him. He was trying to dial in earlier. Also, Henry in Van Nuys, California, new City of the Day. There's Donna in Evansville. Gene, Gene made a really nice poem for us. I'm going to try to get to that. I may have to do an anniversary show for the next 2 days. Here's Joe Miles. He got it in Arkansas. Bob and Mary, Richmond Hill, Ontario. Steve Casto. There's Edwin in Eastlake, Ohio. There's David Briggs, Irene and Drew. You figured it out. They wanted to know where the video is. I'll have to explain that on the way. Paula in Belleville, Michigan. So Irene and Drew, they said, where's the 25th video? It's currently on Facebook. You can find it on Phlash Phelps Funny Farm. You can see it on the 60s Gold page as well, which is, again, on Facebook. We'll get it up on YouTube for you as well. So thanks for watching that at 60s Gold. Silver City, Nevada. That's a great song right there. I hadn't heard that in a while, too. Silver Threads and Gold Needles at SiriusXM 60s Gold. And you had a question?
Where is the Christmas music?
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. We're on 60s Gold. And what happens when you add silver?
Silver and gold.
See, it goes together.
Silver and gold.
What a great one.
Everyone wishes for silver and gold.
So you're getting silver and gold together, so you really don't have to ask.
Where is the Christmas music?
Silver and gold. Wow, now I want to watch Rudolph. We're dancing music at 60s Gold. I missed a number of the calls that were coming in here, so I'm going to start dialing some of you back that have actually rang in. And this would be Gary Black. We're going to get Gary. Good morning. We got Gary Wide Awake Wiley out there in Wiley, Texas.
Yes, sir. Happy anniversary. 25 years. Good gosh.
And you've been with us a long time. You're one of our
23. I think I'm 431 in the fan clan.
It's amazing to hear some of the early numbers. And I'm getting some of those that are saying, gosh, I go back with you 20 plus years because that 25 years ago when I started, we weren't on the air until the next year. It was 13 months of putting together this before we even hit the air.
Yeah. And 25 years ago, I had a sophomore in high school.
Yeah. And how old's that sophomore now?
40 with 3 kids and a husband up in Michigan.
You know what's so funny? Our kids channel, when that went on the air, those kids now have kids of their own because it's been 24 years of it being on the air. So it's really amazing the time that has flown by. And somebody just asked, they go, what were you, like 10 when you started? I said, no, I was 34. The day I walked in there, I was 34 years old.
Wow. And the funny thing is the girls rode in my truck with me because I'm a truck driver. I retired from driving, but I'm still involved in it. But they'd ride with me in the truck. Of course, they get to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
So when they hear me talk about you, they know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
They're
that's
like,
very
Who's
nice.
he?
Well,
Yeah,
tell him I said hi, and tell him it's been 25 years.
Oh, well. Yeah, when you started, I had 2 teenagers at home and a 20-year-old in college.
And you had hair. You had hair back then.
Nah, that was gone, too.
All right, Phelps Funny Farm at Sirius XM 60s Gold. Oh, you know who I missed a call from? Our friend Trent. Born in 1998. He started calling us about 2005. He's about 7 years old.
Hey, Phlash, man.
Hey, you're on the air there, Trent. I missed your call earlier, but good to have you on. I'm glad you called.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely wanted to give you a call and wish you a happy silver anniversary of being on satellite radio, 25 years. That's fantastic. And I've been blessed to spend a lot of those years listening. I started listening whenever I was 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I spent 20 of those years with you.
It's just amazing because you were 2 years old when I started here. So you're 20, what are you, 27 now?
27. Yep, just turned 27 on the 25th of July.
So you were 2 the day I walked in. It's really wild. And you just got into listening to 60s music when you were 7 years old or so, or prior to that.
Yeah, just prior to that, I got into it and really enjoyed it and listened to the program and instantly was hooked on the show. Loved all the geography and the city of the day and everything like that, and just some of the old programming back before the merger. And you taught me a lot because I used to call every summer because I didn't have anything else to do. I wasn't a typical kid. You know, I called radio stations for my pleasure over the summer, and you taught me a lot of things.
I did. I made you learn things. I said, if you're going to be off for the summer and you're going to be calling me, I'm going to make you memorize things. And that's what I kept on doing to you. Well, it's been great to have you around. So many asked, they go, whatever happened to Trent? I said, you may not recognize his voice because he doesn't sound like he's 7 anymore.
No, I don't. But, that was years ago.
Yeah, you sounded like this when you were calling. So it was great hearing from you. And you know Don Daneman of Circle, right? He is.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
He's done 5 new songs. I'm going to play one right now. He redid. You ready for this one? Check this one out that he did. I think you're going to like this because it's an amusement park one with 60s gold.
This morning, turn my radio on to the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm, spinning the records that we all want to hear. We love the 60s, songs keep playing round and round. How we love that 60s sound. He never stops giving us that 60s cheer. Our hearts are flying, fast songs feel like a rocket ship. Loud ones make us want to get up and dance. Slow ones make us want to cuddle real close. Put them all together, it's the most. 25 years he's been doing this show, always keeping us in the know. Playing those songs, dedications, and stories too. With 60s charm, you'll never know how much a song can do till Phlash dedicates it just for you. It's been 25 years on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm. 25 years on the farm. It's the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm.
Wow, thank you again, Don Daneman and Circle. What an incredible job putting these together, the 25th anniversary songs. There's still 2 that have not played. And one of them, actually, Palisades Park is on the video. If you haven't seen the video, watch the video. It's on the Facebook 60s Gold page. You can see it there on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm Facebook page. So it's there. And then the last song that plays on there was that. And it's pictures of me riding the coasters. And there's a lot of video footage from the last 25 years that's a part of that. So thanks for checking in. Over this last trip, I rode 12 new coasters. It was very cool. Sirius XM 60s Gold. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I do have one around here.
Sirius XM 60s Gold with Phlash Phelps, starting your Thursday.
Woke up this morning feeling fine.
Guess what? It's Friday Eve. That's far out.
Bonnie and Clyde at Sirius XM 60s Gold. You know my dog Clyde. He was here for the first 10 years of me working here. Clyde, there he is. That's Clyde's voice. And I was able to get him to bark because I was at home one day and I called my answering machine. He was barking. And I said, here, just bark into the phone. And he did that. And I went into work and I pulled it up and then I recorded it. And I've had that ever since. I'm glad because I lost Clyde in 2010. So there you go. It's fun to play Bonnie and Clyde here at 60s Gold. Hey, do you have the other? I have so much audio that has been done over the years. I'm going to play you one that was really cool. I got a call one day from Ed McMahon. Ed McMahon called and he goes, "Hey, Phlash, it's Ed McMahon." Or he said, "Are you rolling tape?" That's what he said. He goes, "Are you rolling tape?" It was digital. I said, "Yeah." And I had no idea what he was going to do. And Ed McMahon said this.
Hi-oh! And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Phlash.
That was so cool. I was able to get Ed McMahon. He was in Philly the day he called in. And I said to Ed McMahon, I said, "Did you know you're the one that inspired me to go to all 50 states? You told Johnny Carson." Johnny asked him one day, he said, "Ed, have you ever been to North Dakota?" And Ed goes, "I've been to all 50 states. And when I heard him tell that to Johnny Carson, I said as a kid, I said, I want to go to all 50 states. And I got a chance to tell Ed McMahon, you were my inspiration for originally wanting to go to all 50 states. With 60s Gold. Comes through about me, Supremes 60s Gold, out of the Motor City. And we're going to go to Motor City right now because our friend Art Volo, who's going to tell us a very nice story on the way. You had a very sad thing that happened to you, Art, over the weekend. What? That was the story?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I was down in Florida to go see my brother Wayne because he's been not doing so well, and I wanted to go see him and I could still hug him, so that's what I did. And we were afraid that my brother was going to be the very first of all the cousins in our family to that we lost. And instead, while I'm actually at my brother's place in Sun City Center, Florida, we get a phone call from my cousin Bob, who told me that his sister, who's just one sibling down from him, like my brother Wayne is from me, I just passed away this past Saturday.
Oh, no.
And it was so sad that we lost her. Her name was Carol Jean Volo originally, then Howell, and then Ernstrom. She just got married 4.5 years ago. And after only 4.5 years, and my brother Wayne and me were both at the wedding in Jersey, and now she's gone. So it's just, you have to love every day, every single day.
It is so true. All right. Well, we love you there, Art. And I want to actually talk to you about the anniversary on the way, but I want to do one for Carol right now. Do you have a choice?
I'd like to send this out also to Bob and Rich, her brothers, and his sister Marianne, all of Morris County, New Jersey, in the Parsippany area. And I think you'll probably pick the very best song we could play.
I want to play "Oh Carol" by Neil Sedaka.
Perfect.
We got it for here at 60s Gold.
He's a well-respected man about town.
Phlash Phelps on Sirius XM. 60s hits to start your day. 60s Gold. Phlash Phelps playing all 60s hits. Sirius XM, 60s Gold.
Let's get him back on. Art Volo here at 60s Gold. This is we're going out to Novi, Michigan, and let me give you a quick story.
Suburb of Detroit, right? Northwest suburb of Detroit.
Yeah, and you're gonna have a nice birthday celebration about a month away. But here's the story.
You're coming.
Let me tell you,
everybody's coming to see you.
Oh, sure, okay. Then I'll be there.
I swear to God, everybody. Did you hear who's coming now? Lou Simon said he wants to come.
Lou told me. Lou's going to be there. He is.
Yeah, he wrote me and said, "Can't forget the Motor City." I said, "Boy, that sounds like Martha and the Vandellas dancing in the street."
That's right. So here's the deal. Back in 1989, I was working in Tallahassee, Florida, and I saw this video that was done. And Art Volo, he saw Shotgun Tom Kelly do video. Well, they're called video air checks. What you do is you take the audio from the radio and you put it with the video inside the studio. And I thought it was so cool. I wanted to be on one of these things. So here's the deal. Was I go to Martinsburg, West Virginia, is my next radio station, and I asked my sister, "Can I borrow her video camera?" And I recorded a video, and then Art puts this thing in Radio and Records, and Joel Denver put it out, and it says, "Art Volo looking for crazy radio video. Call him." And I call Art. I never talked to him, and I said, "Art," I said, "I have some video." And you said, "Where are you?" I said, "Martinsburg, West Virginia." And you said, "We don't use people from Martinsburg, West Virginia. We put New York, Chicago." You did. This is exactly what you said. You go, "Yeah, well, we use New York and Chicago, the big guys." I mean, Martinsburg. So you go, "You can go ahead and send it to me." I sent Art the video, and he gets back to me, and he says, What the heck are you doing in Martinsburg? This is great.
I did.
I'm putting it on.
I remember that.
That's how we became friends. And 10 years after I had shot this video, it shows up. You send it to satellite radio. Now you tell the story.
Well, we met each other because you drove over to the D.C. area to the Bobby Poe convention, which was a radio convention for top 40 radio DJs and stuff. And we got to be fast friends. And then Lee Abrams and Dave Logan, who are very dear friends of mine, said to me, look, we're putting together a staff. You know everybody in the business, which I don't, but I know a lot of people. And we're looking for a wacky kind of a DJ, you know, like a Joey Reynolds type. And Joey's a very good friend of mine. Oh, yeah. And he goes, that type of a whack job for the 60s camp. And I said, okay, well, I think I got the guy. So I sent him the thing. And when they got to the point where they saw you roll your chair back from the control board with a giant rubber band, and you let the thing go, and it flies across the room, hits the button on the CD player, and starts the song on the air. I mean, everybody that has seen that said, whoa. And that right there cemented the job. And as they tell me the story, the two of them looked at each other and in harmony said, I don't want to forget. They said, oh my God. That's what they said. They didn't think anybody like you existed. And they flew you to D.C., and I don't think you ever left.
I came back for 4 months into Fort Wayne, and I was back on August 21st, 2000. 25 years ago today. I want to thank you, because if it weren't for you, and I don't even know what was on the original video, because I did not apply for this job. Art applied me for the job. I had no idea. They came to me later, and they said, Phlash, we don't even have your resume. I had to print a resume so it could go on my file here. True story.
Well, listen, it worked out pretty well, Mr. Phelps. Pretty darn well.
And since you were the one responsible for getting me here, I'm going to let you pick any one of the 60s songs for us to play right now. You pick it.
Well, I want to hear one that I never hear. I hear Jackie Wilson occasionally, quite often, in fact, and it's always higher and higher. It's what's that? Lonely Teardrops. You know, the same old stuff over and over. I want to hear one that was really one of his biggest hits, but it may be from the very late 50s. Maybe that's the reason why it doesn't get played except on survey shows. But it's called Alone at Last, and it's great.
And we're playing it now. I got it. I found it here at 60s Gold. Thank you, Art. Sirius XM 60s Gold on the Flash 20 Farm. That 25th video that I put up for the 25th anniversary, Barbara Harris was in concert with Circle at the same time. And the picture where I'm on stage with Circle that you see in the video, that Barbara Harris was there that day, and I got a chance to meet her. That was the only time I met her. Okay, you're at 60s Gold. Phil just checked in. He's over in Barnegat. He's going to go over to Surf City right now. He wants to get some pictures of 20-foot waves. I wonder, that's just amazing. That's Hurricane Aaron pushing in all those waves, as you know. Let's get a Kelly update here at 60s Gold. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Phlash.
Good morning. Okay, what did you see in the news?
Okay, some couples have 8 grandparents attend their wedding. Ooh. Some have 4, 1, or none at all.
Sure.
Well, Taylor and Jason Orlando had 200.
200? Who has 200? 200?
Yes, the couple met as teenagers while they were working at a senior center in Webster, New York, when they decided to tie the knot. And they felt it was only fitting to hold a special ceremony there, surrounded by 200 of the grandparents who'd watched their love story unfold. Taylor said, I'm excited to celebrate this big chapter of my life with them. 200 grandparents, 1 wedding.
Okay, but not all related. All right. They're a lot of times removed is what they are. So that's a great story. I didn't see that one in the news. Thank you, Kelly. Here at Sirius XM, 60s Gold. Shangri-La's on the Flash 20 Farm at 60s Gold. Hiya. Who's it? Is this Michael Seltzer checking in?
Yes, sir, Mr. Phlash, and I just want to tell you that I am so in awe of your vast talent. I truly believe you are the most entertaining guy on the radio, and I've said this 1,000 times. I revere you. You are an amazing talent. You're fun. You're crazy. You're the traveling man that Ricky Nelson talks about. But more importantly, I want to commemorate you on your 25th anniversary.
Wow.
I mean, this is a milestone. And, of course, you and I have been friends for a long time. I'm looking forward to seeing you at that illustrious party that so-and-so keeps talking about, but is worried there's going to be too many people there. I won't get around to see and talk to everybody. So stop inviting people on national radio.
Oh, guys, Eric, come on over. This would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's always great to hear from you. I got a chance to be a guest on, you have a show, the Franklin Show, and you let me be a guest on there. That was a lot of fun and I was on with Joey Reynolds. That was great.
Yes, and that will be airing very soon with Jay and the Americans, founding member Sandy Dean.
Yes, he's great.
And I thought this would be a great tribute to the 60s, having Jay and the Americans and Joey Reynolds and Phlash Phelps together on the same stage. So, yes.
Well, thanks for
Franklin
inviting
Show,
me, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure the audience is going to love it. So I will see you at the end of September. Looking forward to it. And bless you, my friend. You are an amazing guy, Phlash Phelps. Happy anniversary.
Well, thank you so much. All right. Michael made sure he threw an incredible party about 5-6 years ago. It was fantastic over at his house. Here was 60s Gold.
Music. All 60s hits. Sirius XM Music. 60s Gold.
Everybody gets together, try to love one another right now.
Starting your morning with Phlash Phelps and peace, love, and great music. Sirius XM, 60s Gold. Sirius XM, 60s Gold with Phlash Phelps.
Yeah, it is the Flash 120 Farm at 60s Gold. And now let me get him in. The man who's been giving us all the songs all this morning. It's Don Danham in his circle. Hey, Don, good morning.
Good morning, Phlash. Congratulations on this 25th celebration. I am so honored to have been a part of it.
Oh, I am just so glad you decided to do some of these songs because originally after we had the birthday celebration, I said next thing to celebrate would be my 25th anniversary on August 21st. And back in May, you started recording and coming up with ideas for different songs, and you end up coming up with 5 new ones. It's amazing that you were able to give us 5 new songs. One of them we still haven't played.
Well, my whole business career was doing jingles, after the Circle broke up, doing jingles and writing lyrics and music and, of course, mostly original. But when I had the opportunity to do this, it actually became an obsession with me. I mean, when I did the version of Hair, I actually woke up in the morning with the word flare in my head. And I thought, oh, wow, that would be a great way to go,
The ideas of all the ones that you come up with, and then you create the music, and you play all the instruments, then you sing and you do all the harmony and you mix it all down. It's all you. It's really amazing how much you do with these songs.
Yeah, every once in a while when I do that and I come up with a line that I think, that would be so great. I think my favorite line of all of these are, you'll never know how much a song can do till Phlash dedicates it just for you.
Wasn't that a great line?
In Palisades Park. That was from Palisades Park. And I just love doing that. And there's another one, I can't remember which, they're kind of all floating around which one came from, but the line about Phlash, the big boys loved him, he made the cut. Mm-hmm. That's in the theme. You're our kind of nut.
That's in the theme, and that was an original thing, and I gave you that line of this is really what happened. You worked it into the lyrics. I am going to play one of the other songs that we have not heard yet, unless you've seen the video. If you've seen the video, you've already heard this. And you came up with redoing Pinball Wizard by The Who. And The Who,
which I love. I loved. It's such a thrill to redo some of these songs. I mean, they're such amazing, great songs. And to have a little, just to sit down and do them is just amazing. And, once again, congratulations on the show. And thank you for letting me do them.
Oh, man. Well, you keep on doing them. We'll celebrate my 60th birthday next.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to do stuff for that.
Thank you for all the songs. We're going to hear it right now. Pinball Wizard. If you're going to see The Who, you can see them in where we were yesterday, Philadelphia, and they're going to be in Atlantic City on The Who will be doing it. Maybe The Who will do this version of Pinball Wizard. Would be great. Here's Don Danneman in Circle at 60s Gold.
Ever since he was a young boy, he loved his radio. Hearing all those DJs, he learned to make it flow. And now he's on the satellite, he really makes it go. For 25 years we've had the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm Show. With music and with talk, he's part of that microphone. And when we hear that voice, it's the special one we know. 60s Gold is so outstanding, he really makes it go. For 25 years we've had the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm Show. He's a DJ wizard, he really has the voice. A DJ wizard, and he's our 60s choice. How do you think he does it? I don't know. With dedications and with stories to tell. Listeners let him know what country they are listening in. And Phlash gets so excited, on his map he puts a pin. 60s Gold with him is special, he really makes it go. For 25 years we've had the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm Show. The Phlash Phelps Funny Farm Show. The Phlash Phelps Funny Farm Show. The Phlash Phelps Funny Farm Show.
Man, such a great sound. I put that in the video of the 25th anniversary at Sirius XM 60s Gold. Thank you, Don Danneman in Circle.
Good morning, starshine.
Start your morning with Phlash Phelps and peace, love, and great music. Sirius XM 60s Gold.
Sirius XM 60s Gold. Happy anniversary to Pam and Dennis Karzinski. They celebrate out in Michigan, and today is their anniversary. They always have their anniversary the same day as I have the anniversary of when I started work here at 60s Gold.
Sirius XM 60s Gold.
Neil Diamond, the Playab album is called A Beautiful Noise. It's coming to Norfolk, Virginia, a place that's really watching Hurricane Aaron right now. So here we are, the 25th anniversary. Got to get her on right now on Thursdays. We usually do, sometimes Fridays. It just depends on when I can get her on. Janine Stang, National Anthem Girl, is on. She joined the show back in 2014. So it's been 11 years of having you on the air. And even during the pandemic, if you remember, we did a live stream because we were all stuck inside. And if you've ever seen these live stream shows, you got to learn a lot about what we were going through. And we were trying to make you happy and watch all these shows. Janine, you remember the story.
But the amount of times you have fallen off
my
the chair off of, or just on the floor in general. The time that we didn't tell anybody that you broke something, there was glass all over the floor.
Oh, that was awful.
If you want to see those live stream shows, just do Phlash and Janine live stream. Look it up on YouTube. And all of the live streams ended up on YouTube after that. I mean, you want to see Phlash do the craziest, I guess you would call it slapstick.
It was slapstick stunts I was doing.
You
just
can
for
watch them
entertainment
all.
during the pandemic.
I don't know how many shows. I think it was like, how many shows?
We probably did at least 25.
25. Yeah. We did a lot of shows, and it was absolute insanity. If anybody never understands why I'm always so apprehensive when Phlash says he's going to cook something, it's because of the live stream show and what I've seen him do or almost do, such as blow things up. I mean, I'm surprised you haven't singed all the eyebrows and eyelashes off of you.
The things that we've done over these years. It's great to have you as a big part of the show. Thank you so much.
I love it. We all love you, and we all, have learned so much as a result of you. Things that we want to know and things that we don't want to know.
We're all heard here on 60s Gold. The fortunes at Sirius XM 60s Gold. And now I'm hearing from Pat St. John. Boy, this is so great hearing from everyone today on the 25th. Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're past 27 years from the original Sirius side,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But you know what? I'm trying to get away from the words amazing.
Oh.
And just come up with fabulous and tremendous. And those all work for you, man. I mean, I listen to you and I shake my head sometimes and I go, how does he do that? I mean, you're always on. Your content is amazing. Of course, I don't know, man. I'm really proud to work with you, and 25 years in the same time slot here on the one and only satellite radio. I'm telling you, man, I'm really proud of you. It's an honor to work with you.
Wow, coming from you. I mean, honored to work with you. I was telling Shotgun about it as well, and everyone who's called in, and Mike Kelly, and Ron Parker wrote in, Dave Heffel, and just to be able to be on, and here you are, a Radio Hall of Famer, and one day maybe I'd like to be a part of that as well, but you are incredible to work with.
Yeah, you should be in there as well. Listen, I want to let you go. It's a very busy show. I just wanted to call and say how wonderful I think you are. And hey, love you, man.
Thank you so much. We love you too. Love you too. Pat St. John later today. Plus tomorrow after the Beach Boys, you're going to be on for that Friday, right?
That's right. Thank you, Phlash.
You got it. Thank you again, Pat St. John, for a 25th anniversary wish at 60s Gold. Chubby Checker. That's alliteration. Yeah, the CH and the CH. I'm the PH and the PH for more alliteration. Now, Chubby Checker, he said he's not going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony. It's going to be in L.A. It's in November. We'll see whether or not he changes his mind by the time it gets to that point. Well, today is a very cool anniversary going on. Not only I'm doing 25 years here, but let's go back 66 years ago today, August 21st, 1959. Earlier in the year, in January, we had just gotten our 49th U.S. state, Alaska. That was January 1959. So now here comes August 21st, 1959. We get Hawaii as our 50th state. And then they come up with a TV show, and they base it on the 50th state, so they call it Hawaii 5-0, celebrating 66 years of Hawaii statehood today at 60s Gold.
All 60s hits, 60s Gold, non-stop music.
There we go, the Everly Brothers at 60s Gold. And yes, it was today back in 2021, 4 years ago, we lost Don Everly of the Everly Brothers. Let me get him on right now. Shotgun Tom Kelly. Hey, Shotgun. Wow. Good morning.
Oh, man, I am so thrilled. I mean, I've been talking about your 25th anniversary all week long. So let me say this. 25 years. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. What an honor to be able to work with you and Pat. We have such the greatest staff that works here.
Yeah, we're a family.
Yeah.
I mean, we really are.
Yeah, because we all talk to each other. We all like each other. Unlike other radio stations, there's a lot of radio stations where they have a lot of people that don't like each other. But I'll tell you what, Mike Kelly called earlier as well. Dave,
I heard him.
Dave Heffel was checking in earlier as well. Pat St. John. We've heard from so many of us. Right? Ron Parker, he wrote a really nice thing as well. Lou Simon is checking in. Oh, so we have a lot of us that are all just saying hi to each other.
Well, let me tell you something, Phlash. Today, for you and for all of us, this is a really big deal. To have our morning guy, our morning star, be in the same position. No, you really are. I mean, look at all the people that love you and listen to you and love your information about, the United States and the roadways and stuff like that. You're a treasure. Can I say that?
Thank you so much.
Well, you are. You're and now I got to say, you are a national treasure. So many people love you, and so many of our listeners. I mean, I meet them all the time on the streets.
Well, thank you so much.
And congratulations on your 25 years.
All right, let's cut him off before he says any more nice things. So, hey,
I don't want to say any more nice things.
Thank you so much. All right, here at 60s Gold, the Rolling Stones on the Flash 20 Farm at 60s Gold. So many nice comments and I haven't been able to go through all of them. But after I put the video up of the 25 years here, which is on YouTube as well, so there's all these comments that are on there, and one of them I just saw. Dan wrote in and he said, hey, Flash, guess how I got my satellite radio membership? He said, I was watching QVC. He said, and they did lifetime memberships for you guys over 20 years ago. He said, that's how I got in. How about that? I didn't even know we were on QVC back then, too. Did we do Home Shopping Network as well? We got a double shot of My Baby's Love on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm at 60s Gold. Listen to this story that comes in from Sue. It's about her anniversary. It's a heck of a story, she has. She said, Ed and I, we have a special request. Friday, today, husband Ed, and she said it's our 50th anniversary. She said, we're your favorite listeners right out of Dearborn Heights, Michigan. As you keep on playing our music from our past, it really makes us take it and reminisce right back to yesteryear. Well, we got married 50 years ago tonight, and it happened to be August the 22nd, 1975. And so listen to this story. It was 6 p.m., and it was stated by our priest that it was going to be a candlelight wedding mass. Well, here's what I want you to know that ended up happening. There was a huge, this is capitalized, all 4 letters, H-U-G-E, huge storm. And it blessed our marriage that day. The church was fine, but we had candles. So as the power went out, it got all dark, but everybody had candles, right? So we made it right there out of the hall. The power, boom, it goes out. There were pop and beer bottles everywhere, including in the bathrooms, and the candles were stuck in the bottles. Well, she says, my cute little grandma, I can always remember what she said. She goes, Susie, I've heard of candlelight dinners, but aren't they taking this a bit too far? And says, oh, Grandma, how I miss you. Then the Detroit Edison Company sent out a technician. He was going to make all the corrections for the power on the pole. It was just a city block up from the hall. Unfortunately, it was raining and thunder and lightning was happening all at the same time. But he got it working. We go away on our honeymoon. We found out when we came back, that sweet man who were making the repairs for us, he died that day making the repairs. We were married, and God bless him. Signed, Ed and Sue. Get ready, here I come at Sirius XM 60s Gold. Now I'll try to go read some of the flash mails and the comments. I haven't even been able to look at that. It's just been crazy around here. No, before we run and go bye, this was the theme that we played at 6 o'clock earlier this morning in the Eastern Time at 60s Gold. Don Danneman and Circle changed the words. Listen here.
Every day is special on the funny farm, but something more is happening this year. Flash is 25 years on the satellite, so give him a great big cheer. He took a job on XM radio and started his Phlash Phelps Funny Farm show. We've had 25 years with his 60s charm on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm.
Hi, this is Pat McLaughlin.
This is Mike Loskamp.
I'm Dean Castron.
This is Don White.
I'm Scott Langley.
And this is Don Danneman. We are The Circle, and this time we're changing Flash's theme into an anniversary song. So Flash, on behalf of the band and all your listeners, we want to congratulate you for 25 amazing years on Sirius XM. But don't stop now. How about giving us another 25 years?
On August 21st in the year 2000, Flash took a great big chance. He got a new job on the satellite and started his 60s dance. The big bosses loved him, he made the cut. They listened and they told him, you're our kind of nut. Now we've had 25 years of his 60s charm on the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm. It's the Phlash Phelps Funny Farm. 25 years on the Funny Farm.
Now starting year 26. Get Statler and Waldorf. How was the show?
Hey, doesn't Hope usually sing thanks for the memories?
Why would he want to remember this?
What a day. Dave Heffel, Pat St. John, and Shotgun Tom Kelly ready to go next. Bye-bye, Funny Farm Fan Clan. You're seriously XM&S.
16's gold on your FM.
That sounds right.
You ready?
You
doing
it?
it?
Yeah.
You do it? Okay. 1, 2, 3, and
Show's not over.
He's on 16's gold on your FM now. Wait. Lots of stories to tell. He's not on your FM now. I don't know where that came from.
XM? You said it.
XM. On your satellite.
It's your
Here we go.
song.
One more time. 1, 2, 3, and He's on 60's gold on your satellite dial with lots of stories to tell. Playing 60's music in a retro style. I just wish he could spell. It's a P with an H, the F is no more. So stick around with Flash, let your memories soar. The satellite carries all that 60s charm. It's the Flash Phelps Funny Farm. The Flash Phelps Funny Farm. It's the Flash Phelps Funny